I am back. This is Drew once again with more incorporating Invector 3D controller with the Okashi role-playing framework, i.e. ORK, inside the Unity game engine. And as you may remember, we left off after creating a script to create conforming clothes, which is all well and good, except it's really hard to navigate the menu because the mouse isn't showing up and everything is moving. Now we could just do that with the keys and everything, but then we'll have trouble with this thing moving around. The easiest and most straightforward way to stop that is to simply open up the ORK framework, go to the menu screen, menu screens, and then down here where there is a pause setting, pause game, pause time, freeze pause. You have to do that for all of your menu screens, which is fine. And now we can move around, but when we have the menu open, time freezes. It's all well and good. Except keys don't work. I'm pushing down on the escape key. The arrow keys work, but other keys don't always work, and now we're back out of it. Now we're back, but we can't leave this screen. There's no way to leave this screen without putting a back button in there, which we can do. We can do that quite easily, which I'm going to do right now. I'm going to show you how to do that right now. That goes here, add back button first. Save, confirm. Now, when we do this, we have a way to close the menu, which we didn't have before. Just by clicking on the back button. Done and done. However, that's not ideal, because sometimes you want the time to run when you're in the middle of something, like an animation or something. So, what we're going to do is we are going to figure out how we need to make that show up. But first, let's address another issue. The cursor goes bye-bye. Cursor stays bye-bye. You can kind of see when I mouse over something and when I'm off the game screen, but on there, there's no cursor. That is an easy fix, and I will show you how right now. I've created this script that does just exactly what I want to do and attached it to my player character. It's called ORK in Control. I've set this up for other things, but these are the important bits. Using ORK framework, using ORK framework behaviors. And then, down here in the update, if ORK control in event or ORK control in menu or ORK control blocked. This is saying if ORK is in a menu, the control is blocked, or is in an event to turn the cursor on. And if the cursor is on and we're not in this, to turn the cursor off. So let me show you that in action. I've already set this up. Oops. I have to turn this on here. Apply. Now disable. Now watch this. When we go into a menu. Oops. Oh, sorry about that. I'll fix that. When we go into a menu, there it is. Mouse. Mouse. And when we are out of the menu, the cursor is gone on the screen. It's off the screen, but it's not on the screen anymore, which is what we want. Which is what we want. But now, how do you make it stop? Well, that is quite easy. Quite easy indeed. Because right here we have this thing called shooter melee input. And if you open the script, actually we don't need to open the script to show you that. It has this thing right here called lock input, which, as you guessed, locks the input. So let me unmaximize this on play. And then we'll play. And now we have this open. Don't need that because it won't show you. Now, M4 clone, shooter input, shooter melee input, lock input. Now, when I push the arrow, when I push the control keys, nothing happens. I'm pushing the WASD keys right now, which should be making my character move, which isn't. Then when I click off of lock control, boom, I'm running again. So, now what we want to do is we want to take that script we just edited and we want to get a reference to the shooter melee input. So let's take the ORK in control, and in order to do that we need to add another using up here. Using Invector V character controller. That should be it. We may have to just use, but anyway, let's find out. Public V shooter. Ooh, this will tell me what I need. It is using Invector V shooter. We need to use Invector V shooter. V shooter. Now this will show up. V shooter melee input. Oops. V shooter melee input. I was gonna do VSMI. VSMI. Shooter melee input. Now, down here, when we have this, CSMI dot lock cursor, lock input. Let's go back and show you. It says lock input. Lock input equals true. Lock, oops, CMSI dot lock input equals false. Now watch this. If everything goes right, I'm going to turn off the time, or set the timer down so you can see that finish down here. You can see it's still compiling, and it's done. No errors, which is always a bonus when you're working with me. Meaning I may end up with errors a lot. So down here I'm going to Overview, uncheck pause. So now it will not pause. Save, save, confirm. One more just to check. One more just to check. No changes were made. And now let's try it. See what happens. Now let's maximize. Let's maximize. Oh, I'm getting a null reference. What is this null reference? Oh, I forgot to assign that. I forgot to assign that. That is fine and dandy, because that is what I do. Revert. Now, let's assign that. Right down here, CSMI. Just drag our third-person shooter down right there, and done. Hit apply. And let's deactivate him. Let's go. See what happens next. There we go. It's gone. No more error. No more error. Now, menu. I can't move. I'm pressing the arrow. The move keys, but you can see the mouse is still moving. That is fine, because did you notice something when we were doing that? Perhaps you did. Perhaps you did. Perhaps you were screaming, do that, do that. So let me see. CSMI.lock. What is this? What is this? Camera input? Lock camera input? Ooh, let's see what this does. Let's see what this does. New game. And escape. Ooh, I'm moving the... Nope, nope, it's not working. Nope, nope, no. Nope, keys aren't working. Mouse isn't working. But it is now. Everything's working now. And the cursor's gone. So let's go over and check on this interaction. When this pops up, interact. Look. And the keys are not working. And I press OK, and it's done. Let's go to the Save menu. Interact, and done. Done and done. It is that simple. It is that simple. It is a lot more reliable than going in to here, because you can do it this way too. It's a lot more reliable than changing the time, than pausing it and pausing all of that. It's a lot more reliable because you can still have stuff happening in the background and the keys all work properly and everything. And it's also a lot better than doing this. You can put custom controls in ORK that will disable these controls. But that's not what we want to do. We don't want to disable them completely, because there's stuff that still runs in the background that we want. We just want the inputs to not work, which is what I have done with one little script. So let's come over here. Oh, he's not set up for an interaction. How about you? Are you set up for an interaction? No, none of these people are set up for interactions, or maybe they're set on the wrong collision layer, which is fine. I can fix that. That's something we'll fix. Those should all be set up for interactions, but this interaction still works. You found, oh, but my mouse. But that, again, is another thing we can fix quite easily. When we do this, you may have noticed this. You may have noticed this as well. CS.lock cursor equals false. see lock cursor is a method, which is fine. We can do that. We can do this. False. Oops. False. There. True. Now, in theory, this should work exactly as planned. Finish compiling. Let's check. Let us check. No cursor. No cursor. Cursor. Oh, it's still locked. Alright, we will figure out why it is still locked. We will figure out why it is still locked. The keys still work though. And it's unlocked in the menu. Now it's unlocked. Oh, now it's locked. Alright, why is it doing that? Cursor visible false. Cursor. See, let's see what that is. Control F. See what lock cursor does. I may do this in a second tutorial because we're coming up on too long now. Lock cursor, current project. That's what I just did. Lock cursor. Let's just change this. Let's just change this here directly. See if that works. Where was that? Cursor lock state. That's what I'll look for. Cursor lock state. Equals cursor mode none. And my fat fingers can't type. None. See if that works. But first, let's see if this gets locked anywhere else. Those are the ones I already found. No, that's it. That is it. That is it. Let's see if this works. Did I save it? I did save it. Let's see if this works. Compile. 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 No errors, which is good. And let's see. We have interact. No locked cursor. Bonus. Interact. No locked cursor. Awesome. Cancel that. No locked cursor. There we go. Solve those problems. Now in events, menus, etc., the character will not be movable, yet anything that needs to be running in the background of the Invector will still be doing that. If you disable those scripts, you will get problems. So this way, it pauses them how it's supposed to be done. Problems solved. Next, I'm going to play around with inventory. You can see right here, or equipment rather, you can see right here that I have a short sword that's supposed to be in my right hand, but there's nothing showing up. I'm going to get that working next time. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to working with you again.